Alrighty, ladies and gents, welcome to another game. And I know you woke up today and said, I really want to see walls, T90. Walls. Walls, I tell you, walls! Whoa. I didn't realize there was some cool little... Are those angels? Yo, seriously, are those angels? They kind of look like angels. Maybe they're not. Anyways, we should probably cast the game. In the yellow, we have the Bloodless. Bloodless is playing as the Indians. And then in the teal, we have Britons. Or are there angels here? No, there's no angels. Britons for Draken. And this is Arena. Arena is the map where you have stone walls and plenty of protection. And then we have the CL team, the Clown Legion team. The Arena players oftentimes called clowns by themselves, mind you. And they love their Arena. So, Bloodless is an American player who comes in at around 2,100, maybe 2,200. It kind of depends on how good he's been playing. And then you have Draken, who's a player from the Czech Republic, and he is one of the better clowns. You probably have Madri at number 1. But I don't know if he necessarily is officially on the CL team. Anyways, Madri is an incredible Arena player. And then you have Draken. And both of those players play other maps, but Draken is 2,400, 2,300. He's just the better of the two. I also think that Britons are better. So this is an interesting one, right? Normally, if I'm going to be bringing a game to you and we have a better player and better civilizations, it normally isn't so exciting. So I'm curious about this because I actually have only read tidbits about it. And this is on my list of things to cover this month. So we might see some crazy stuff from the Challenger. The reason Britons are top tier is because they have very cheap town centers. It's quite easy for you to go up to Castle Age and boom up. Also, because Britons don't have to worry about mobility as much. If you think of how Britons normally operate on a more open map, they go archers, but mobility of knights raiding their eco or running around their archers can be a problem. On Arena, you're normally running right up the mid, right? And so you can camp, you can keep your archers protected, and normally archers, halberdiers, and trebs is that good combination with the Britons. Also, you do have an eco bonus too, right? Because you collect sheep a little faster, so that's no joke. Now, Indians do have some options that are quite good, and I'm really hoping we see the Elephant Archer. Rohan in chat just mentioned it, but that would be so sick. Because Elephant Archers, if you can get them masked, and that's a big if, are insanely tanky. They have high pierce armor, and they also have a pretty decent attack against anything else. So, as the board doesn't want to cooperate, and I can't really blame him, because I wouldn't want to die by a bunch of arrows either. I could see maybe a world where we see some craziness here. Bloodless goes for Elephant Archers, and then who knows what else. The problem with the Elephant Archer is the cost. And Britons don't have a cost problem with their units. The Elephant Archer, I think, is 100 food, 60 gold per pop. Plus, you need to produce them out of castles. Plus, they produce really slow. And for them to be really good, you probably need Elite and all the upgrades. So maybe the other things I think about when I'm thinking Indian strengths is they do get higher pierce armor on their... I can't speak. Their light cav. So you could go for light cav in the mid game to threaten any archers and maybe threaten any monks. And then maybe get a bit of a lead there. Create a lot of villagers because your villagers are cheap out of TCs. And at least get to the Imperial Age with a lead. I think that is the key here. Get to the Imperial Age with a lead against Britons and you've got a chance. Map-wise, this is a pretty tasty spot for your gold. If you're Draken, maybe we'll see a town center there later. I kind of doubt it, though. If aggression were to come in, of course, this would be an issue. And wait a second. Why are we seeing Loom? Oh, Bloodless forgot to make houses, people. He's not going up to feudal age. He might be thinking that. But what? Okay, never before have I seen someone seed 3 farms, which normally indicates fast castle, but then get Loom and then go up. I don't think this was planned. I think he forgot to make a house. And when he got pop capped and he couldn't create villas, he got Loom. And now he's like, well, we'll figure it out. If someone's getting Loom and going feudal quickly, it normally means villagers will run forward. So, is he going to do that? Nope, I don't think so. Okay, I think he's adapting from here. So, he'll rush feudal and he'll go for the wood upgrade and the farm upgrade and take it from there. Wait. No, he is going forward. Ugh, I'm sorry. The clown players confused me so much. Because, guys, like, he's not going to have his villagers at the enemy walls by the time he's in feudal. So there's a lot of reasons to say, like, maybe this hasn't been the best game for Bloodless. He's going to push in his deer. He'll be in the middle of the map when he ends up making it to feudal age. So I assume now this will be a tower rush, maybe. Yeah. I mean, he could always take the farms later, to be fair. But it does seem like he got housed and changed his whole strategy just because he forgot to make houses. Here he comes. Now he's dropping the tower. Okay. And so his strat is to rush feudal age walls because Dark Age and feudal age walls only have 900 HP nowadays. I wonder if this is just a bait. Nope, he's going to stone. Gotcha. Well, I have to say, stepping into this game already, I can tell you that I don't feel at home, okay? I feel more at home with what Draken's doing. Draken's build orders are always neat and tidy. So this makes sense for him. And he's probably going to be really happy that the enemy didn't rush him even just 30 seconds faster. Because it does take a little bit of time for these villagers to break through. So Draken realizing that the villagers will probably run in to maybe build another tower. Just going to add a few walls here. And sometimes what people will do when they go for this type of a build order is they'll have an archery range behind here, so he has to be careful. And, ooh, big mistake for Draken. So feudal age scouts get extra attack, and they get extra speed. And so Draken wasn't in feudal yet, and he loses his scout. Whoa. And then he got housed again. He got housed again. Okay, I gotta chill. I can just hear people in the comments like, T90, it's okay if people don't play perfect all the time. We're all human. We all make mistakes. You should know that, Mr. Farm Boy. Nah, it's not that I lost that perspective. It's just like interesting to me. How many tiny little things are adding up, right? Tiny things are adding up. A tower rush is pretty standard for Indians. Of the 3 times I've seen Indians on Arena at a high level, they tower rush every time. I think it largely depends on the players you're watching. Ethan, and I know, Ethan helps me find games. I know you have a certain level of appreciation for a certain type of player. Mr. 15-minute castle drop with Sicilians, so... It is an interesting strategy, though. It is a really interesting strategy. It does look like he's kind of baiting his opponent into freaking out a bit. As he's trying to break through, waiting for another tower, maybe. And he could go up to Castle Age behind this with a little bit of market abuse. But if you think of the eco-efficiency, if you think of the worker efficiency, this, in my opinion, is a losing strategy thus far based on those stats, right? He won't have a military building to make anything in the next stage. He doesn't have the eco upgrades that Draken has. And Draken's going to make it to Castle Age faster. But sometimes you've just got to make games messy. And when you make games messy and you make games awkward, T90 gets confused, but also maybe Draken gets a little confused. And it might change that plan from Britons to take the map control after 3 TCs, right? It certainly feels like it at least forces Draken in to do something out of the ordinary. And that could be a victory in and of itself. There's another tower. Draken really wants his TCs, so he doesn't want to make a counter tower here. I think what Draken will likely do is he's going to go for a siege workshop with a few knights when he hits the next stage here. Denying the berries is nice. Let's see how greedy Draken wants to get.
Ready.
He must be so tempted. With Britons, you could actually go immediately for town centers. But I think this is a safer play. So he goes to siege workshop. He shows the siege workshop. He'll go for a knight. So far, so good for Draken as these villagers are still very stranded. Back at home, Bloodless is, of course, protected. What's nice here is that the siege and the knights can't really counterattack you, right? And Bloodless is going to try and make another tower right before the knight arrives. And so there's 3 towers in one spot. The other 4th one doesn't really help here. But okay. Okay, here you go. So now he's going to go for his own siege workshop. Yeah, I mean, like, Draken's still fine, right? But this is not the type of game that Draken wanted. So I think the important thing I need to circle back to is we have a ram. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, villagers, be careful. Oh, God. Wait, the villager's going to take out the ram. As this villager gets killed and the siege workshop gets denied, and I'm trying to find reasons to think this strategy is good when I really don't think it is deep down at heart. I have said a lot in my cast that if you think it's a tough matchup, then just don't play it the way they would maybe expect, you know? Maybe that's part of what we're seeing here. I feel like the natural play for Bloodless is to try and boom now, right? Like, these villagers are dead. There's no way these villagers ever survive. They could delay, but I don't think they ever survive. And maybe he just goes for a second TC at home. But it's been super sloppy. And he did keep the vills alive for now. There go the knights for Draken out to the middle of the map. There's the second TC for Bloodless. Draken hasn't quite added his second one yet. Keep in mind, we do not have the farm upgrade for Bloodless. We do for Draken. And he's only got a little bit on food. His eco is all about stone and gold right now. He's been annoying with this, though. Draken would have expected to kill these villagers already. But I think the time has come. As you have the ram attacking the tower, or trying to, and then you have the knights arrive. And yeah, these villagers are going to have to hop out of the tower soon. If I'm Draken, as he just lost a villager here, I would maybe pull my knights back in a second. Pull them back. Yeah, this is good. Just wait for him to pop out, because you know they're going to run. And then kill. Yeah, well done. Very well done. All the villagers go down. And I don't know, Ethan. Like, I take your word for it, because I know you like Arena. But so far, I have to say, this strategy has looked pretty poor. He's trying, though. He's trying. So we got a TC here for Draken. And then we've got a TC here as well. Patrick, what's up? He says, just came from a YouTube video and you were talking about the Switch. Oh, you mean the Switch of platforms. What's up, man? Yeah, I kind of feel like I should have made a more official video for that. But at the time I made that video talking about this, I was honestly really emotional. Because I announced it on stream and, like, there was just threads everywhere all over the internet talking about it. And there was a lot of negativity. And so when I made that video, it was kind of to the people that already knew. And I should have made a video more officially explaining things and, like, making sure people could watch it in the future. But anyways, welcome, welcome, welcome. Draken's going to be loving life right now. He's like, okay, free elo. Free elo. 3 TCs. All producing villagers. Solid eco upgrades. And he's out here for relics. And he's even counter-attacking right now. So I think what Bloodless is doing right now is actually the correct play, but he really is going to need conversions here. He's going for monks, and he gets a conversion. And also, that knight could kill one of these other knights, and that means the monk could survive. Look at this. Oh, I don't know why the monk is pathing that way. Oh, okay. It kind of sounded like Mrs. Doubtfire, you know? When Mrs. Doubtfire's like, hello! If you guys know that movie, it makes sense. If you don't know the movie, I'm a weirdo to you. But, all right, the Rams go down. The monks get conversions. And so far, Bloodless has been able to take 2 relics. So there is another relic over here, which he hasn't scouted. There's also a relic here, which he has not scouted. And he is going to 3 TCs. And I think having Indians bails you out a teensy bit because your vills are cheap. Typically, you'd need to have 6 on food per TC. He's got 10. So he'll maybe make it happen and maybe turn this into a little bit of a rush. I don't know. Don't stress it, T90. We still love you. And anyone who does was here from the beginning. Hey, thank you, thank you. That's not necessarily true. Like, there's still people who love me and appreciate me who might not be here. But I think the people who care for me first, platform second, are obviously here, right? So thank you guys. Yeah, I just chose, like, at that time, after the announcement, to just, you know, do my best to make sure the content was good. And that's what we've done. I think we've had a really good time and a really good transition. And I'm at peace with the decision and know it's the best move for the long term. And, you know, the rest is history, right? I didn't really make any follow-up videos on it. I just kept doing my thing. There's only so many things you can control anyways, right? So stone income just started for Draken. And redemption's about to complete for Bloodless. He could actually convert these houses, delete them, and walk right in. But I'm not sure that's the play. Draken's about to take some map control now. Oh, and he's going to get this relic. That's huge. Okay, so he's going to get relic number 2. And with these resources, we'll probably make crossbow. Excuse me. But Bloodless is getting eco upgrades. And he's catching up a teensy bit, I guess. Like, in my eyes, if this was a tourney right now, or even a ranked game where I was casting it and, you know, this game wasn't suggested to me, I would say this is super over. This game's over. But Redemption means you can convert enemy buildings. Monks also have 9 range, which still outranges the crossbows. And Draken maybe a little worried of what's to come here, as he's going to lose this monk. I'm not sure what he was doing. Okay. A lot of monks. And wait, can he just convert the range? Yo. No way. So he can convert the range. And also converts 2 of the archers. And also comes in with the knights? What? How is this working? Okay, so now the Indian player has an archer range. I'm wondering if he can convert this tower, or, sorry, convert the archer range without the tower hitting. It looks like the answer is yes. Oh, man, I would be so frustrated if I was Draken right now. He's, like, calling his mom. Mom, I did everything right. I swear. Mom. Also, have you ever seen this? He needs houses right now, Bloodless. He's housed. You ready? You ready for him to solve that problem? You ready? You ready? Boom. Oh, come on. The timing could have been a little better here. Come on, Monk. Cooperate. Cooperate, dude. What is it, a Teuton house? Yeah. No longer housed. And you know what else helps? He deletes that house, and he's dropping a castle right on Draken's face.
Ready.
Draken must be shell-shocked right now. So Draken is now imping, but he doesn't really have strong army to go imp with. He does still have stone back here, and he is going to make more ranges, and he probably still feels like he could just make some archers. Draken is pop-capped right now. He also is having house problems because of all the houses getting converted, and he loses a couple villagers now to the conversions as they switch sides. And he's also continuing to lose houses. Yeah, and I guess you just got to delete these things. There's more houses. Okay, Scout kills that villager. He's like, I hate you, dude. Why'd you switch sides? And we now have elephant archers from Bloodless. And wait. So the enemy's going to go archers and imp, but elephant archers are super tanky as is. And is he making elite skirms from his opponent's ranges right now? I think he is. Wow. And the monks are just going to convert Vil after Vil after Vil. Draken's like trying to use the scout. That's not going to work. That scout's going to get converted because the other monks are healing him. And yup. Skirms from his opponent's ranges. He's getting pop space from his opponent's houses. He's probably going to take the barracks next and maybe get supplies out of it because all the big legends do that. And then elephant archers are super tanky, so they're actually good against whatever archers Draken can make. And Draken doesn't have a castle yet to even trev this down. Look at the amount of military that's rushing in. Also, his eco's untouched at home. This is unbelievable, man. This went from 0 to 100 so freaking quick. This is why we cast Arena, people, and this is also why we ban Arena. Can you relate or can you relate? Oh, my word. Feels like Draken still has a chance, okay? He's still got a chance. He's going to drop this castle. Now, if there were a bunch of rams right now, if Bloodless had 3 or 4 rams, this is game over. But he doesn't have rams, and it's possible everything next to Draken's castle dies. So I think he got a little crazy trying to stop that castle. You probably should have noticed. But, I mean, he can just run through and just keep making Draken's life a living hell. And now he's imping. He's still got some monks and some skirms, and he will have 2 castles. And Draken's just got a lot of random things to worry about. This scout and the skirms are the MVP. Draken doesn't even know. Draken's so worried about Mr. Elefanto over here, or wherever. He doesn't even know. Now he does. And somehow it's 81 Vils versus 80. And Bloodless's economy, let's look, has been way more efficient. The WELM is worker efficiency last minute. obviously, his worker efficiency's been better. What I like about what Bloodless did here, guys, is that when he fell behind, he just tripled down on the craziness. I think so many people, and this would include myself at times, they try the first step, which is crazy. And then they don't necessarily continue to be crazy because they're like, well, didn't work, game over, GG. Also, what? Siege tower! Siege tower crossbows! Draken snuck out! Draken snuck out! Oh my god! And there's a possibility that Bloodless won't notice this. And remember, his archer ranges are on the front, but okay, he's noticed. He's noticed. He also has ballistics. So he gets some kills. Alright, I think he's pretty well protected from this. One more garrison shot, and they're all dead. Or, not all, but yeah, close. Okay. So back over here, Bloodless had just made a castle. And he's making rams, but you notice castle was a waste. Rams kind of a struggle right now. Also, Draken is adding another TC. Draken still has more vills. He still has really good army. And monks don't really scale that well against Britain archers. Britain archers are insanely strong. And so that castle will likely get trebbed down for Bloodless, and he will be castleless with no control over the game, and Draken is still in this. So to circle back to what I just said, like, Bloodless was so far behind, he had to have 5 things go right for him to win, and he only had 4. And now he's got a game plan for the future. Does have 3 relics. What's funny about this is he's got so many houses forward, he's actually going to get housed by the Trebs, I think. Draken is going to Treb down those houses and ram down those houses. Speaking of rams, as the Treb goes down for Bloodless, he's now ramming this monastery. If only he would have done this a little earlier and taken the relics back home. I think he knows something's up, though, right? Like, he sees the siege workshop. He knew the siege tower was out there. And here he comes, and he now sees this TC from Draken, which Draken hasn't really reacted to yet. Neither has Bloodless. But yeah, the relics are now out of the monastery for Draken, but he can take gold again, thankfully. Okay, very focused over here. You can kind of see the lack of speed at times, you know? Like, there's these moments where the game just kind of slows down. Obviously, they're probably macroing. Like, for Draken, he macros really well. Has a lot of eco back here. 43 on food is crazy. But for Bloodless, I mean, this has been... As he goes to convert the Siege Workshop now, all of this game has been low eco for him. Not the Vil count necessarily, but just how he approaches it. Though he is up to 36 on food now, I suppose. Ram is still doing its thing. I think what Draken's doing is he's patrolling his army out of his base. But they keep running into the houses because they haven't been taken care of. This castle protects the gold for Draken. He's getting more upgrades. There's now a... Wait, what? Did he convert the... What? He converted the siege tower? Guys, I honestly, until this very moment, did not know you could convert a siege tower from distance. I thought it was like a ram where you had to be next to it to convert it. He just... Dude, where's my car? He just stole it. What the... Okay, so he stole the siege tower. Fun stuff. Now, what if he uses it? That would be epic. What if he puts skirms inside the siege tower and goes zoom and zooms into the crossbows? I think Bloodless is using... I think he's selected all of his archer ranges and set his gather point at home right now. And he just continues to stream skirmishers till their death. Which is a very sad sight. My uncle's a skirmisher, and he... Is he doing the same thing with the stable? Okay, alright. He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. Armor upgrades coming in now for the Cav. Hussars coming in from the forward stable. I'm still very surprised that Draken didn't take care of all these buildings. But it seems like he just really wanted to... He didn't want to stall. He didn't want to give Bloodless any time. Still no Arbalest upgrade for Draken. As Bloodless runs away. And his base looks like a tornado went through it. It's been extremely hectic, extremely crazy. Still no Arbalest for Draken, which I think is concerning. And skirmishers with full upgrades can actually do a very good job here. And if you look at how Bloodless has approached this, he actually ejected some of these which could intercept some of the units for Draken as they run forward. Hussar now arrives. Again, he's still missing some armor upgrades, but Indian Hussars do... Oh, he converted the Trebs! He converted the Trebs! He doesn't have a castle, but he just converted the Trebs. What is happening? Oh my goodness. If Draken wasn't already kind of tilted by what happened earlier, I can imagine he's probably a little frustrated right now. Holy. Okay. Well, he does have a very good army count now, Bloodless. And I think the unit you would want to make if you're Draken would be Champion. Skirm and Lightcav is really good against your archers. I don't think he's making the right unit comp. I mean, he's making... It's good to start with, right? But I think he will need to switch at some point. So he is trying to make a push on this side. That said, how successful will this be? It's like he shifts like the bunch of skirms, not really thinking that, you know, skirms might not make a lot of sense here. And those skirmishers are looking mighty useless there. Where are the Trebs at? The Trebs are now taking out the ranges. Draken, he understands those Trebs because he made the Trebs. So he understands the technology. He knows their weaknesses, but he hasn't been out there yet. Is Bloodless going to win this game? The ranges are going down. Another Treb comes forward for Draken. His brain, I think, is broken. Like, I think this is so crazy and so messy that all structure that he's used to is just gone from his mind. And so he's trying his best. But he continues to be intercepted from his base. And, like, then you have Hussars from Bloodless's base going over here and Skirmishers to deal with this. Taking really effective trades. Now, Draken's making more Arbs now. So the Arbs are taking care of the Hussars. But the Skirmishers are now out of the picture. So you could just go Hussar and Skirm if you're Bloodless, I suppose. And honestly, if he were to just run in here with Hussars, I feel like Eco Raid would do so much. How much is he going to regret not taking care of these freaking buildings, man? I think that's one of the biggest mistakes from him in this game. Because he now wants to drop a castle over here, 170 pop for Draken. He's trying to stabilize both mentally and economically here. And I think if this castle goes up, it will protect the area for now. But what about this castle? Remind you that Bloodless lost 2 of his castles. He hasn't built one since. He cannot make Trebs, guys. He cannot make Trebs. Draken, I think, is making stables somewhere. Oh, he's just now... He's getting the upgrades, but he didn't have the stables because he doesn't have the time. And so he won't have anything to take care of those Trebs before that castle falls. Meanwhile, here's the siege tower. Zoom, zoom. Beep, beep. Honk, honk. Siege tower is just going to distract and look cool. Hussars and Skirmishers annoying Draken. And Draken is in a mode that I'll find myself in sometimes in Imp, where I will make too many vills. Right? He's got resources. He's making more vills because he's losing some, but like, I think he needs to chill out with the vills and focus a little bit more on military at the moment. Bloodless still using his monks, converting some Arbs now. So he's converted houses, archer ranges, stable, siege tower, trebuchet. The monks are the MVP, that's all I'm saying. Anyone else getting a little bit of anxiety just looking at Draken's base right now? Like, this is an art form from Bloodless. The fact that Bloodless has been able to make this as messy as it is all due to that opening I didn't agree with, truthfully. I think that Draken still made a couple errors to allow the whole castle drop thing to happen and do as well as it did. And Draken's, of course, not out of this game. But when I look at the amount of population that's free for Bloodless to make military compared to Draken, actually, who lost a bunch of vills here, so maybe I'm wrong. It really feels like Draken's doing reaction after reaction after reaction. And once these castles go down, he could just be raided to death here. Here come the Trebs going after the monastery. I just love how everything that's been converted is still existing. No, not the siege. No. No, not Sam, the siege tower. Nah, okay. Well, he lived a good life. He lived a good life. He got to see the world before he died, you know? Anyways, no more gold for the monastery now. No more gold here for Draken. And if your archers are not working with Britons, you're not going to be feeling really all that good about yourself. Like, that's the unit that you need to dictate the pace of the game. Britons are hard to push, but hard to push with, as we've said for many years. And he's fallen behind now. He has no mobility. He is mixing in light cav, though, and I think that's a good change. But man, like, where's he producing them from? Does he have stables at home? He's got 0 stables at home. He's just got the stables here. A big issue you run into on Arena is lack of space. He does not have space at the moment. I think what Bloodless needs right now is he needs Trebs or Bomber Cannons, and he needs to swoop in on this side. Because this is about 50 population from the enemy. This push is obviously working well, so I guess you could actually just defend this area and push the main base. But one or the other. Just continue to push one of those sides. This rating's working out fine. That TC will go down. He's going to pull in these Trebs right next to the relics and try and take out the castle. But his one Treb is blocking the other. He's blocking the opening. Oh, no. Oh, he's through. Okay. Thanks, bud. Thanks, Lightcav. Yeah, Draken has his gather point set in his base because that's where he needs it. But the Hussars are owning. Imp Camel's now on the way, which is very expensive. And yeah, this army is unable to push this area at all because there's no siege to back it up. At this point, whoever makes the siege inside the castles is like, no, I saw the enemy, converts our siege. I will not do that, sir. And beep, beep, relic heist. Here goes the monk with the relic. There must be another monk on the way back somewhere. And Bloodless is going to have all the relics soon. This castle will drop soon for Draken, who's running out of stone. He still has the population lead. He actually has a massive army right now. But he has to bring this army back home in order to accomplish anything. And I think just having lost... Oh, sorry. The other relic's actually in the monastery. But having lost one of those relics and having to react so heavily like this will lead to a spot where Bloodless can just take this. Where he should, in theory, just immediately push this corner, and you see it now. But that was not the killer blow. And I'm actually not a big fan of seeing Imp Camel here. I think Hussar Skirm was actually fine. Let's see now if Bloodless can finish him off, because 85 army for Draken is no joke. And if you guys don't know a lot about Draken, he loves to fight. He is not going to call it here. That is 71 ARBs. 71. That's insane. This is winnable for Draken. If he can make Trebs, and to make Trebs, he needs the castle there. Does he have any more stone? No stone in his base. This stone here is being stolen. Draken is destroying the Trebs that used to be his. They could maybe take this stone, but no. Bombard Cannon died there for Bloodless. That's the only thing I want to be critical of, is he was very late to pushing this corner. Like, he has the time right now because of how this game has gone to do that. And then if Draken sends his Arb Ball this way, then you should just see Hussars run in. In fact, Hussars should be running in constantly anyways. But he doesn't have auto farm. Bro, it's 2022, man. It's 2022. You have the wood. Auto farm, man. It's so funny. A lot of these players, right? Because we played for years before auto farm existed. A lot of us age players were very resistant to change. Or we're just not used to change. I think auto farm would mean that he'd have around 60 farms, but he continues to lose farms. Now, by the way, you shouldn't have auto farm on at, like, early castle age. As a high-level player, you can run into issues with that. But once you get to this stage, man, click auto farm. Click auto farm. Anyways, he takes out the castle. That was the important thing. He did also lose a bombard cannon to a villager, it looks like. We'll kill some villagers. And for now, what this means is this is going to give more pop space to Draken. And Draken now has that unkillable ball. Now, if he had multiple castles, if he had like 3 castles, I would say elephant archers would actually make sense here. But I think instead you've got to go Skirm, Hussar, and maybe sprinkle in some bombard cannons. And hope for the best against this composition. Draken has full upgrades. And Bloodless is happy to just castle here to buy himself more time. I like it. And every Arbalest he kills, of course, it's harder and harder for Draken to make more of. And I've been proven a little wrong here by Imp Camel as we see Hoardings and Fortified Wall come in. Imp Camel actually has done pretty well, but it's still so expensive. I'm only okay with it because he has 4 relics and because he's denying this gold. The Skirms still end up killing some Arbs here, which is in the end his goal. And this is kind of a wasteland over here for Draken. As he converted more stables, by the way. Bloodless converted so many buildings this game. Auto farm was introduced, I believe, with the start of the game, right? With the Definitive Edition in 2019. Or wait, no. No. I don't know if auto farm came in. No, excuse me. Auto farm was here when the game was released, but it didn't become default for every player until a couple patches ago. So what you have to do is you have to go to your settings and make it so it's not on at the start of the game. Which is what a lot of players have done. A lot of high-level players have made it so they have to manually select it in the game. Yeah, it was initially a part of DE at the start, yes. Also, Bombard Cannon's down, Treb's down. I don't know, guys. The fact that Bloodless is throwing so many gold units right now really has me worried. I mean, he's got the fortifications. And if he had 60 farms, I'd feel better. But, like, there's some gaping holes in his eco. He doesn't have farms. And I think he's going to take pretty ineffective trades once Lightcav come out consistently for Draken. That said, Draken still hasn't mined this gold. Draken only has 41 on food himself. Yeah, so I don't know if bad is the word. I don't know if bad is the word for auto farm. But in situations where you want to afford certain things, it's really important that you have the wood in early castle. That's where it hurts the most. And if your farms are receiving, specifically if you're going for archers, you might not have the wood to be able to go for university, to go for ballistics. Those are the big moments. As we have villagers running across the map from Bloodless to, I guess, take the stone? Yeah. Okay, he's taking what gold he can. He's also taking the stone. And he's going to try and convert the stable. Okay. But guys, like, these are really ineffective fights. Arbalest and Lightcav is just better than... Well, it's not just that. It's the fact that the production's there for Draken. He's got units in queue. I guess what's so good, though, as these villagers die, is that Draken needs siege. And Draken can't make Bomber Cannon with Britons. And he doesn't have a castle anymore. So he's unable to make Trebs. Honestly, auto farm is insane. Like, I'm so glad they added it. I'd like to be clear that I think it's really good for the game. It was so annoying to have to manually click back your farms and have to, like, seed up your farms. I mean, I'm definitely a fan of not dumbing the game down. Age of Empires 2 is what it is because of how complicated it is and how all the details matter. But auto farm is huge. That's good. It's just what high-level players will do is they'll have it off, and they'll forget to put it on. Actually, at this point, he has it. Okay, so we're good now. Or they'll have it off, and they'll keep it off. So, I guess that's the same exact thing. I just said the same thing a different way. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'd rather lose because of floating too much wood than hear the expired farm sound. Well, you wouldn't be floating. You would be spending wood, right? You'd be spending wood. But again, what I said is not going to be something that the majority of players encounter. So I think if he would have been able to use his time effectively to make more stables and farm a bit more, which Bloodless is now doing because he's on the slower side compared to some players. I would have loved to see Bloodless consistently pressure this area and just constantly spam onto that gold. I think he's going to treb down the mining camp. Yeah, he just does not want to give Draken any gold. It's 4-1 with relics. And if he can just continue to pressure here and have 70 farms. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, this is going to be Bloodless's game. Also, that one relic is still very much on the front. Not that that's going to make a difference. I think having 4-1 is also really complicated, so. Oh my goodness. Okay, see, Bloodless sees this as well. He says, no, we can't have that. So I'll send this over. I like this. We now have Yeoman for Draken. Wait, what? Yeoman? What castle? Oh. Okay, he's got a castle now. I probably panned over that a few times. Now he's got extra range for his arbs, but he's only got 30. Wow, 32 arbs is a lot of arbs. Some people might be saying, what about Halb for Draken? I think what Draken's running into right now is he's lacking the resources to tech switch to anything else. He would need to get all the armor upgrades and Halb. He doesn't have the res for that. And if he doesn't spend his resources on what he's already teched into, he's certainly dead. So I think Arbalest Lycav is actually fine here, because Arbs do well against Hussars in numbers, and then the Lycav can take out Skirm. That's fine for me. These stables are slowly getting cleaned up. I think Bloodless is going to need to respond to this, though. What I like from Draken is that he's being patient with the Treb, but also, like, at the same time, time is of the essence here. Hey, Bloodless, notice that tree is at 5 wood. And he's waiting. Will Draken notice this? Nope. He's going to run in. I love that. I love that. What a play. What a play. And now he's got the main force here. This is where Draken is looking. It doesn't look great, but it doesn't look awful, right? But then he's going to look back at his base, and he's going to realize the Stampede has run through. He's going to curse himself for getting the final wood upgrade, because he overchopped his wood line with efficiency. And now, as Yellow's completely surrounding teal, I believe this game is over. And what a beautiful, beautiful game from Blood. Actually, no, it was an ugly game, dude. But in this case, the ugliness is beautiful. And is that a dot dot there from Draken? Why is that dot dot elevated? You see that? Can I go into the actual game? What? Is that a bug? What's that about? Does anyone have any explanation for that? Anyways, if that is an actual dot dot, I think he might be like, how did I lose this? How on earth did I lose this? And honestly, because of pure chaos. Absolute chaos. I have to give credit to Bloodless. There were some funny moments in this game. Also, is there a camel trap? Oh, he's on the other side. Okay. Yeah, there were some funny moments in this game. There were some strategic moments in this game. And Bloodless knew, if I play this somewhat standard against Britons, Draken is going to have the type of game that he wants. And so I'm not going to give him that. But I love Draken's fight as well. Like, when he was making his castle, it looked so bad. But he completed his castle. He had the siege tower counterattack. He did expand. So it's not like Bloodless just lost this game. Sorry, Draken lost this game and he should have done better. I mean, probably should have done a little better, but he's human. He made mistakes, and he still fought back from them really, really well. And now to the statistics. I'm curious on this. Sorry, there's so much data there, but there's the KD for you. If you look at the... I want the normal timeline capture age. How do I get my normal timeline again? No, give me my normal timeline. This is kind of what I was looking for, but it's actually not showing what I need to see. Sorry, guys. I'm still getting used to this. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the normal timeline and it's only on score. But just to like simply break it down before we can look at some of the more specific data, I think what was key for Bloodless was he bought himself so much time with all the forward shenanigans. If you look at the military spike that ends up coming, he made sure that when Draken had that military, Draken wasn't in the proper spot with the military. Draken was over here, right? Oh. Draken was over here. Where Draken wasn't able to be was here. So the two castles were probably a bit much. The converted houses were funny and everything, but all that stuff was just... It was keeping Draken in his base, so Bloodless could have the time to do what he needed and kind of strategize effectively. I also think his unit composition was perfect. I think going for Skirm and Hussar worked really well. It's kind of awkward for Draken, and I think what Draken would have needed was maybe Champion, but he would have needed to open with it. If he opens Imp with Champion, then, you know, he's clearly cheating because he only had 80 villagers when he made it to Imp. Anyways, economically, you can see the food, gold, and stone count. Bloodless had plenty there. You're also able to see that the stone was well over what Draken had, And remember, Draken lost those castles. That was another big point. And that, my friends, was a very good game. Salutes in chat for Ethan for recommending that one. But I hope people on YouTube end up enjoying that. I personally just don't feel comfortable going forward and playing like Bloodless did. Because 7 times out of 10, I'll lose all my monks. I won't convert their buildings. And it just doesn't... Things don't go right for me there. But at the same time, I might play the Civ matchup standard, and I might get overwhelmed by Draken and then just lose. So there's an argument to be made to the Chaos, and there's an argument to be made for monks, because monks are a little RNG. And the timing, man. The timing when he came in and converted the ranges, and then converted the archers, and then dropped the castle, everything was just so well executed. So maybe... Oh, converted buildings, I'll check that. Maybe for myself as a player, I need to embrace that and play that way and fail a bunch of times and then just get used to what works and what doesn't, because I just don't have enough experience there. Typically, it would say conversions here, I think. Oh, no, it says conversions and desertions. Don't think it'll say how many buildings were converted, but I think it would say around 10 to 12 there. But still, 52 conversions is pretty insane. That was a crazy game. I don't know how he got 52 conversions when he was doing everything else.